This is the Offenders Podcast. You are directly in violation of Penal Code 113, Section 8. The word used, fuck, shit, piss, dick, cunt, and other foul language. Viewer discretion advised.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Offenders Podcast. This is Evan Jones. Who's sitting to the left of me?
I don't know this handsome man, and you won't know either because you can't see me. You have to take my word for it. I'm Shane.
John Cena, ladies and gentlemen. You can't see me. You heard it straight directly from the horse's mouth. And doing the John Cena sign to my right is our guest for the week. Why can't I talk?
Were you going to say gentleman guest?
Gentleman guest.
I had that issue all day today. Hey guys, I'm Eli, the podcast guy.
And how does one go about getting the name the podcast guy?
Well, you gotta have a name that rhymes with guy, and then you could just about put anything in front of it. So I really could be Eli, the Blumpkin guy. I could be Eli, whatever, you know.
Now that's a pumpkin that is extremely blunt, correct?
Yes, that is a Blumpkin. Yes,
yeah, it was actually founded by Gene Simmons of Kiss, I believe. No, seriously, I think he was the guy who invented the Blumpkin, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah. If not, whatever, he can have it. I give it to him.
But look, hold on, now we got to talk about Blumpkins. Am I the only one sitting here who has ever just sat there doing your business, the number two, if you will? And said, I need a blowjob. Well, actually, that has never happened to me, I want to say. And has it ever happened to you guys that you thought that you needed a blowjob while taking a shit?
No, that's not. There's not two subjects that cross in my mind.
Yeah.
I can't really say I've ever wanted a blowjob while taking a shit, but I mean, I guess I probably wouldn't turn it down.
Like a free sample at a grocery store. Well, since it's there.
Probably turn me into Dr. Roxo from Metalocalypse.
All of a sudden, as soon as the mouth hits your dick, you just become a clown.
Yeah, exactly. A shitty clown.
That's an excellent pun. Shitty clown.
I could play the Offenders in their pun games, I think.
Oh, man.
I actually probably can.
You're holding your own very well, young man. But, yeah, so this week we got Eli here. He was kind enough to invite me over to the podcast that he and I always forget his name. Mickey Mouth run called. Well, tell us a little bit about it. I won't tell him.
I'm from the Smack Mouth podcast. I get a lot of joy from doing the podcast. It's almost like my therapy session. And so since we've gone with our pro account on SoundCloud, we've got listens from like Saudi Arabia and Thailand.
Holy shit.
So I'm thinking like maybe these guys, maybe like military folks from Middle Georgia, maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but so yeah, it's the Smack Mouth Podcast. We're on iTunes and SoundCloud. If you guys could check us out, that'd be cool. And I'm so stoked to be on the Offenders right now.
Yeah, I remember like back when we first started doing this. I've known Eli for a while. We'll get into that in a minute. But he actually walked up. He was like, "Yeah, I heard your podcast." I was like, "Whoa! Somebody listened to our podcast? How the fuck did that happen?" And he said, "I found it on iTunes." I was like, "We're on iTunes?"
And then I bugged you for like months, dude. How did you get on iTunes? Tell me the ways.
I'm just JoJo the Idiot Circus Boy over here. Like I just sit there and make things sound dumb and people laugh at them. So I had no idea, and then I actually kind of found out a way, and then told somebody else to tell you to look it up. Because that's what I do. I'm an asshole. I'm lazy.
I don't know. I don't think about it. Like even right now, when it's mentioned, I forget that other people are listening.
Yeah, right. We think it's like we have two friends that we talk to about this in our actual lives. And it's like, hey, thanks for listening again, man.
Right.
I know you could have done anything like play Candy Crush on your phone or even, watched an infomercial, but you listen to our podcast, and I'm really grateful for that.
That's what I like about podcasts. You want to hang a picture, paint a wall, or jack off, you can just listen to a podcast while you're doing it.
That's true.
I've never jacked off while listening to a podcast
Oh,
before.
Joe Rogan, you sound so good.
It's got to be the mic quality because he gets real close and then he's real quiet on it, you know?
Yeah. Joe Rogan,
Like he's telling everybody a secret.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
is
What
for
you guys
3
eating?
hours.
He's doing the fucking telephone game, and then everybody hears something different on the other side. But anyway, so what do you guys do? What makes Smackmouth the podcast that our listeners should check out?
Well, we are very offensive.
Yes.
And you know, it's nothing to, and I think our personalities are like kind of alike but just enough different that we can disagree but we can still call each other a queer, you know. And then, you know, so I mean, and really, like I said, it's my therapy. If I had a shitty week, you're gonna hear all about it on the podcast, you know. Same with him. And so we're just a good old all around podcast. I think we kind of had I don't know, like a agenda for a while, and then we just dropped that agenda and said fuck it, so we just hit record and just have at it, you know.
So now that you got rid of your gender, you're non-binary, is that what you're saying?
He's agenda fluid.
He's
The
agenda
agenda's
fluid.
changed from time to time.
Transgender.
I
had
would
no
like to
agenda.
say something. I'd like to say
Oh,
something.
please do.
And that is, when I hear the term gender fluid, it makes me think of like, I can't get an erection. I need to top off my gender fluid. or for women, it's like, I am bone dry. I need some gender fluid so I can get excited. That's what I think of.
Bone dry.
I'm bone dry, man. I need some gender fluid.
That always reminds me of Superbad. I can't hear the word dry. It's like, these aren't dried up old ladies. These are 18-year-old girls. They're good to go.
Yeah, right.
Don't make me feel like that, man. I thought it was nice. A little bottle of lube.
That's weird because like my name is so different because, you know, unless you live in Wales, there's not a lot of people named Evan, but there's a guy named Evan in that movie. Like, holy shit, I never hear that. It's great. It's really weird.
Evan is a nice name.
Thanks. So is Eli.
Thanks, bruh.
You're welcome, man. Anytime. Shane, on the other hand, is a dumb name.
Damn, Daniel, damn.
That's real.
I don't hear my name all that often either.
Oh, yeah, I just realized.
I
both
know a
you
lot
have
of
the-
Shanes.
You both have the same first name. I just realized that.
That's true.
Is your last name Shane? Or is it middle?
No. Middle name is Shane. First name is mine.
Ah, cool. MS. Multiple sclerosis.
Mist. That's my initials all the way.
Yeah, Mystery Science Theater. Hell yeah.
Nice. Are we
That's-
talking about like the 3000?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Cool. That's the one I grew up on. I never watched like the 2000. I think that one was probably a little bit cheaper, maybe.
They just revamped that. I heard, and I don't know anything about it, but if it's half as good as the last one was, I'll be fine with that because it was fucking outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my like sick days on the weekend. Like I would have like a flu or cold or something, and boy, Mystery Science Theater would come on, and my life got infinitely better. I was like, this is nice.
Let's play the old man card for a minute because kids these days, when they stay home from work, they can watch almost anything. But we were at the behest of whatever the fuck happened to be on the TV when we happened to be there.
Scary movies on the Sci-Fi Channel when they didn't spell it all weird.
Yeah, it was Skiffy instead of sci-fi.
Yeah.
Siffy.
Wrestling was not on Sci-Fi back in those days.
Yeah, the real ECW was elsewhere. Ugh.
What did I used to watch ECW on? Maybe I did watch that on Sci-Fi.
Videotapes, probably.
No, it used to come on what, Friday nights?
Yeah, it was on Sci-Fi. That was when they revamped it under WWE, and it was terrible. Except for Shelly Martinez. Woo! Man, Ariel, that was her name. Ariel, she was great, and CM Punk, of course.
Yeah, CM Punk was on there. What's this guy that was with the Dudley Boys recently? I would know his name if I didn't have to think about it. With the kendo sticks, that guy.
Steve Blackman,
No,
Sandman.
no, I do remember Sandman. He's got like dark hair. I know you don't follow WWE right now, but he. Oh man, where's fucking Claymore?
Probably somewhere drinking a beer.
Clay, hear my call, bro. Text me and tell me this guy's
the guy you're
name.
thinking about. Blah, blah, blah. I actually watch SmackDown and NXT now, if that helps.
Dude, NXT's the shiz.
I love
I
it.
dig it.
I love it so
I
much.
freaking love Finn Balor.
Yep.
And I like the Vaudevillains, man.
Yeah, aren't
Those
they
guys
great?
are awesome.
Shane, have you seen the Vaudevillains? Do you know who they are?
I don't think
We watched
so.
a little bit of NXT. Why don't you tell them a little bit about the Vaudevillains?
Okay, well, we'll go back in history a little bit. VOD, the term VOD is from like the early 50s, maybe late 40s. And it's basically like the dudes with the handlebar mustaches. Like almost like the circus, but not
Strongmen.
Yeah, strongmen and stuff. So these guys, man, the debonair devastation of exquisite something. But they have like the coolest little intro. Like they interact with their like Titantron video. They're cool. They come out in black and white. And they were the tag team champions for a while. And then they brought these new fucking dudes in and took them away from them. But I still like the Vaudevillains. They're awesome.
Yeah, they got a real good gimmick. They're fun to watch. It's cool how they go from black and white with the lighting that matches the Titantron to the light changes and the Titantron comes off and they're in full color. It's ingenious. And they're really good because like the one guy's outfit looks like the old like leopard print strongman outfit. He'll pose while he's doing the moves and stuff. And aside from being really good wrestlers, they got a really good shtick, a really good gimmick.
They do. They'll probably stay in NXT. I don't see something like that lasting on the main roster, but it's fun to watch. You know, it's kind of like the soft. How you doing? I love those dudes.
Bada boom! Realest guys in the room.
I love Enzo and Big Cass, but they would never make it on the main roster. And
They're too good, man.
They're too good.
Too good.
The main roster sucks. Like
SmackDown is like the in-between I have found because I just started watching that 2 weeks ago because my friend at work was bugging the shit out of me. I was like, fine, I'm not going to watch Raw because it's fucking terrible forever, but I will try SmackDown. And I watched it and I liked every single match. The only thing that I didn't like about SmackDown was the fact that they made me watch some highlight reel of Roman Reigns bullshit.
Yeah.
But everything other than that, every match was great. And it was mostly NXT people who came up, so I loved it anyway.
But see, they bury all the good people. Kevin Owens, okay, you bring Kevin Owens in to beat John Cena on his first match ever on the main roster. Mm-hmm. Then he loses to John Cena 2 times in a row. You've buried him. You've buried him under John Cena! And it drives me nuts. That's why I like SmackDown, because like it's almost like a fan show. Mm-hmm. You get to see fucking crazy matches that you're not going to see, you know, even in pay-per-views.
Absolutely. The first match, the reason that I knew it was going to be good was the first match had the fucking Dudley Boys in it, and it was a tables match. I was like, okay, you got my attention.
I mean, and then like the thing about the main roster is too, not that long ago, freaking Ryback and the Big Show had like this huge feud, and now they're together fighting, you know, the Wyatts.
They always talk about long-term booking and how they have all these plans, but I think they just say that so we can trust that they know what they're doing. But when you look back on it, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? This has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Why are these guys jerking each other off? Last week they were hitting each other with tables.
Yeah, right? What kind of show is this? Jesus Christ.
I just don't like going from feud to feud, man. I remember back in WCW days, the good old days.
Oh, yeah.
Back when hot dogs cost a nickel. You know.
Way to bring it back. Good joke.
You know, you had the Wolfpack and NWO.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and like the Wolfpack was fucking awesome. NWO, they were scumbags. Well, they constantly went after each other. That was a feud that was long running, and it was one that you enjoyed to watch. Mm-hmm. You know,
they were very entertaining. I liked it. That's when they would come out and say stuff, but it was funny, so I liked watching it.
Yeah.
Instead of them coming out and saying some shit that I care nothing about.
It's like they became the cool heels.
Yes.
And now everybody tries to be the cool heel, but they just suck.
Yeah.
Instead of being the good chicken shit heel, which is what our wrestling fucking community needs, we need to have some people who everybody hates because they suck and they're stupid, because that's what a heel is.
We have Stardust, and that's it.
I love Stardust, man.
I do too, but he's from the Rhodes family. I mean, of course you're going to like him, you know?
It's so hard not to. Like, anytime he has a promo, it's like, nothing will ever top the Ultimate Warrior as far as just amazing, just verbal paintings of absolute insanity and expression of the human creative process. But Stardust is pretty damn close.
He is close. I like him better as Cody Rhodes. He's a really good wrestler, you know? Him and his brother Goldust, which I guess still has a job. I don't know. Yeah, I hardly ever see him. He was wearing blackface last time I saw him.
That's offensive.
Well, I mean, his face was like black.
Oh, but like literal black.
No, I don't mean. Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't mean like
Al Jolson came out. Mammy, how the fuck? Wait, why did you fire Hulk Hogan if this guy's got blackface on?
But you know what? You know what I don't understand? They did Hulk Hogan wrong, and I'll
For
tell
sure.
you why. He grew up. Well, he grew up. Fuck. It's not WWE's not a farm. He just grew up. No.
I remember he grew up. We just go back out with Ric Flair, and
Yeah.
every
Go on
time
the
they
barn.
eat, he calls. He'd be like, "Woo! When all the bacon's done, woo!"
Yes.
That's where that call came
But
from.
he came up in a racist injury.
A racist injury?
Yeah, a racist injury. He had a racist injury.
Ow, my knee! Those damn Mexicans! That's what I'm thinking of.
He grew up in a racist industry.
Yeah.
Basically, there's never been a black world heavyweight champion. There may have been one in WCW, but I'm not sure. I don't even remember. There probably was a few black guys in WCW, but I just don't
Norman
recall.
Smiley.
Norman Smiley, yes.
Flash Funk. I mean, Too Cold Scorpio.
Yes.
I
But
think that's it.
see, that's the thing. And then, like, you know, the first time I ever saw, like, the WWE live was here at a house show.
Yeah.
Now, tell me why the fuck the Wyatts, who are, like, country bumpkins, are fighting a black team. You know, does that make sense? And then you get, like, awesome dudes like Titus O'Neil. You know, he deserves the world. He's, like, a great guy, fucking good athlete.
Wait a minute. Isn't that the guy that just got suspended?
Yeah, he did just get suspended, but it was because he had words with Vince McMahon.
Oh, what kind of words?
At like
Swear words?
disrespectful words. Look, Vince McMahon doesn't have much longer. He's about to go down for murder.
What?
What's his face? The guy who they just put in prison for it. Y'all talked about this on the podcast.
Iron
I
Sheik?
thought.
I mean, not Iron Sheik.
Not Iron Sheik. The other guy.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah, I
a
forgot about
big
that.
rumor saying that Vince had a lot to do with him originally not being charged for that.
I had heard about that, yeah.
I mean, he's about to go down for murder, and see, it's even crazier. Is I heard, as of last night, they've brought Shane McMahon back into the picture.
Yeah, I thought somebody was ribbing me because I saw a picture up there. I was like, that's easily photoshopped. Shane McMahon's in China fucking selling TVs or something. He's doing something crazy, like he invented something over there.
But that's disheartening. It's definitely disheartening if you're like a Vince McMahon dude. I don't like Vince McMahon for the fact that he like straight off hauled off and punched a referee a few weeks ago. You don't
What?
do that.
What happened?
Okay, so Roman Reigns was in like this impossible situation. Oh, I know what it was. Vince McMahon was the guest referee, and it was Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. Well, Vince McMahon was being a bastard, so Roman Reigns just hauled off and like Superman punched Vince McMahon in the face.
No, great.
Went to pin Sheamus, and so Vince McMahon's all fucking drooling on himself. Probably shit a little. And then so like another referee comes down and does the pin. And so Vince McMahon smacked that referee in the mouth. It's like, you know, you don't do that. In the real world, Evan, me and you work for the same company.
Yep.
If our supervisor came up and just smacked us in the mouth,
It would be on the Smack Mouth podcast.
yes.
I had to bring it back.
iTunes and SoundCloud, people.
Yes, check it out.
But
seriously,
that sounds amazing. Actually, kind of.
but
If it was like wrestling.
I say that shit so much because, like, without going on to a tangent here, when you work in an office, you have to learn the politics of working in the office, how to play the game within the office. And I just, like, so many times I find myself saying to my coworkers, people have it easy. Were it 100, 300, 400 years ago when someone was acting stupid, a rapscallion, if you will, you could just smack them about their head and correct them immediately.
Exactly. Not even that long ago. Fuck the Wild West, early 1900s.
Yeah.
Shit. You cheated at poker. Off with your dick. I'm gonna blow that shit off.
They go heel on you, brother.
Yeah.
Man.
People do have it easy nowadays, man. These little fucking kids walk around with their goddamn Facebook and shit. I had a stick and a tree to climb.
Yeah, right?
I got locked out of the house.
Like, we actually had to like, we had toys, but we would run out of shit and we'd be like, I have to find something else to do with these toys. And you end up being like near a sewage treatment plant and you don't even know it. You're like, oh cool, a river for them to fight on. But nowadays, it's like, kids can't even walk outside without putting on 10 pounds of hand sanitizer and like a fucking helmet and then getting a trophy for making it out the fucking door.
That's why I'm all for like, oh, you're hungry? Here's a sharpened stick
Yeah.
and a flute. Go catch some dinner.
Yeah. You can use that flute to call the bird over from fucking Zelda.
Then you stab it to death with your stick.
You'd have to be really hungry because then you couldn't fly to the fucking water
I
palace.
want to know how many kids destroyed their parents' faces and stuff playing Zelda. Like, they're like, if I smash this, rubies come out, and then I can build things.
Man, I don't know about you guys, but one of my favorite things about my favorite game for Zelda was Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. And one of my favorite things was just walking up and grabbing something and keep pushing forward, and it looks like Link is fucking humping whatever he's standing near.
Yeah.
He would just put his head up and be like, ugh, and I just laugh my ass off and be like, he's humping a bush! He's got knights everywhere and he's fucking a bush. Not the bush that you think I'm talking about, but a literal bush. But yeah, back to 10 minutes ago, WWE's got a lot to do with their main roster, but they're coming up in certain areas. Oh my god. Did you see the Instagram post that Becky Lynch made for Valentine's Day?
No, but I should have. Listen, Becky Lynch is the hottest lady to ever walk the earth.
She's like beautiful. Like if it was like 1,000 years ago and she walked up, we'd be like, the goddess has descended from the heavens.
The fire god has sent us a wonderful present. Look, it's something about like she's so short and she's like built, like she's thick. I don't know, but Jesus.
And the reason that I love her, of course, is her love for puns.
Yes.
Which brings me to the post. Okay, so basically what she did was, I saw she posted a video. And normally I automatically like anything she posts because I'm a fucking mark for her. So I see this video, I'm like, cool. Well, she has like all these props. And it's like, I can't even do it justice. You'll have to look it up on Instagram. But she would pick up something and she would make a pun of it. And it was like 5 puns in a row. And then at the end, the thing that makes it so wonderful is she made this little smile where you could see that she was so proud of herself.
Yeah.
She was so happy that the joke worked. The last thing she said was stick together, and she made that smile. I was like, ah! Just take my fucking wallet. Please.
I want some of her goggles.
Yeah, steampunk. That's awesome.
You know, I like her intro music. I really
Yeah.
dig her music. Whoa! Whoa!
It's real punky, you know?
Yeah.
Like-
Sami Zayn's intro music is really good.
That's straight up ska, dude.
That's awesome
Yeah.
ska. You know, that night he fought John Cena and really hurt his shoulder. He threw his arm up for the "let's go" part, and that's what hurt him. And that's something.
How old is he?
I don't know. He's probably around my age. But,
Oh! It's like when you see, like when you're a kid and you see somebody's dad, he's like, "All right, boys, we're gonna go biking on the trail," and then he just hurts himself sitting on the bike. He's like, "Oh my back!" It's like you just sat on a fucking bike, old man.
Did you ever see
Sounds like such a bastard. Why don't you sit on the bike, old man? Go ahead and sit on the bike, old man.
Did you ever watch the Ring of Honor where Kevin Owens was in like a title match? It was a ladder match versus like this Mexican dude. It was like a matador looking guy. He kind of looked like the Los Matadores dudes.
Oh, those guys are great.
There's a lot of rumors going around that guy actually was Sami Zayn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's on YouTube. You should definitely check it out. That match is brutal. Like for a chunker like Kevin Owens to go through a ladder. It's devastatingly amazing. It's, you know, I did a lot of research on wrestling not too long ago. I kind of have that problem where if I get into something, I want to like research it.
Yeah, me too.
All the wrestlers, there's a reason why you only see a few of them that do table matches and ladder matches, hardcore matches. It's because there's a subset of wrestling school that they have to go to learn how to take those bumps.
Really?
Yes. Like, there's a special school that they go to learn how to fall on a ladder Meanwhile, you watch freaking Lucha Underground and everybody goes to a ladder. Like,
Yes.
Oh, man. Speaking of which, were you one of the people who got mad at Jim Cornette for fucking cutting a promo on Lucha Underground?
nah, that's all in the business. Look, Jim Cornette's gonna do shit like that because you know where his heart is.
He's a heel, man.
Yeah, he is a heel, and Lucha Underground is very soon to put everybody out of business.
It's amazing.
Ring of Honor has put TNA out of business. Lucha Underground will put Ring of Honor out of business.
You calling that right now?
I call that right now. There is a Mexican ECW and Women Fight Men. Which,
Okay.
fuck everybody if you want female equalism.
Yes.
Then there it is. It's on Lucha Underground. Chicks getting DDT'd.
I tell you what, anybody who thinks a woman can't fight has obviously never worked as a bouncer because they will beat the shit out of you.
Yes, they will. They will claw you.
They will punch you. They will knee you. Just look at fucking Holly Holmes and fucking Ronda Rousey. Anybody who is a living human being can train themselves to be a badass.
Hell yeah. Especially when you got legs like Holly Holmes. Her legs go from here to there.
I bet
and
they
they
do.
take the long way. So, like,
Now, since we brought this up, the equality or equalism, as it were, Shane, in his time dwelling within his cave, very body dharma of himself, where he just stares at the cave wall and meditates on things, came up with an ingenious system.
I forgot what it was, truthfully.
It was the system, the privilege.
Oh, no, that was just a joke. That's a joke if I ever got rich and famous.
So let it happen,
with those
man.
group of people that are always talking about how everybody's privileged.
Yeah.
It's like if you're white and straight and so on and so on and so on, you just keep building up more and more privilege. And I was just thinking it would be so funny that if I got to be like a billionaire and stuff, every time I did something, I would claim on spending privilege points to do it. So it's just like I've gotten a bunch of scientists together and they have cured cancer. I used 20,000 privilege points to do this because it would drive them insane.
yeah.
Because I'm doing good things with it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but at one point, eventually someone would say, you keep spending like 20,000 points at a time. Aren't you going to run out? And be like, oh, no. See, what you don't understand is, it's like, you see people like, that live on the street or something like that. And it's like, this is a white guy and he's straight, but he lives on the street and he has nothing. How is he privileged? He's just not using his privilege points. So I take his privilege points and I use them. Like I was Richard Pryor from Superman 2.
Unused privilege points. I like it. I like it a lot.
That's it. It's like, obviously they're not using them.
I don't agree with the white privilege, and I'll tell you why. Because I believe in black privilege.
Oh,
This is why black people have more athleticism.
That's awesome.
So,
Even stole golf from us, dadgummit.
you don't hear about a white kid too many times from Kansas that gets the basketball scholarship to Duke. So, there's my idea.
You know what's so
I love
funny?
I love how people call that privilege. You know what they call that? Being different.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Being different.
Exactly.
That's what that is. It's like
I guess in some instances people could act like they're privileged or whatever, but to me you're a person.
Yeah,
And as long as like you can understand my sense of humor, then we're good.
Yeah, that's
Because
absolutely.
because I think that derogatory jokes are funny.
yes.
Because you know that they're not real, but it's
Exactly.
so ridiculous within the premise that you've presented.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
When one of my black friends calls me a cracker, I laugh. I think
Right.
cracker is a funny word. I'm a little snack.
Yeah,
You know?
you're a delicious sodium treat.
Yes, put some cheese on me or peanut butter and enjoy yourself. So that's just me. I think the world has really tight buttholes lately, and
Oh,
I don't.
yeah.
That's the thing.
I think that has a lot to do with the internet, man. Your Facebook feed is your safe space.
Yeah,
So heaven forbid someone offend your safe space.
People, people
like-
are just too sensitive about things that don't matter. That's the thing. You have to realize it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that this person is no better and no worse than you. That's why you can make fun of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
If there was actually something wrong with, like, well, how can you make a racist joke? It's because there's no difference between my race and someone else's.
Yeah.
It's just like making fun of someone who's just like me. We are the same.
We're all back on the inside, bro. But yeah, I blame the internet. You know, one of my friends got flagged for putting up that painting of Donald Trump with the little bitty...
With the Gigi Allen dick.
Yeah. And he was like, why does this get flagged? And I'm like, look, dude, it's not even right-wing crazies. Some people just don't want to see a little bitty peewee in their Facebook post.
That's true.
And that's just all it is. It's like, you know, and, you know, he's like bleeding heart liberal or whatever. And I guess he was thinking like, no, it's everybody that doesn't have his political views. But it's not that. I just don't want to see a little dick on my Facebook.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Any size dick. You
That's
know?
true. But racist. What's wrong with Little Richard, you asshole?
Man, you know what really makes me laugh? Like what he just used, it's like a positive stereotype. It's like, you know, those white people are awesome at banking.
That's that's the thing I didn't get about how, like, I can understand how something can be irritating if you hear it all the time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it's like, I'm an Asian and I don't appreciate you telling me I'm good at math. What the hell is wrong with
Who
you?
would ever say that?
Meanwhile, so should I come up to you and like, hey, I bet you're fucking terrible at math.
Yeah.
Would that make you happy?
Yeah. I'm going to insult the opposite of what you think I'm going to say to show that I'm sensitive to your fucking needs, asshole.
Wow, you're Asian, huh? You must suck at math.
Exactly. You must be terrible at math. Way to
You
break
obviously
those
don't
stereotypes.
know karate. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think that worked.
How awesome is that? This is like, everybody thinks you know martial art. That's awesome.
You know what would be a good social experiment? To get 4 or 5 people and just agree on a bunch of completely random stereotypes and assign them to certain specific groups. It's like, okay, if we bump into any Italian people, let's say that they're fucking awesome at building houses. And anytime they come over, be like, there's the fucking house builder. Hey, you got your construction stuff? And they're like, what are you talking about? And it's like, well, you're from Italy, dude. You're like the best housemaker ever. What?
Why would you think that?
I think it would be better if we assigned people's races by popular things. So, like, if you see a black guy, you're like, you must be good at karate or ninja sword because of Afro Ninja.
Yeah, right. You
see
can
it
do
at-
almost a backflip.
You see an Italian guy and you're like, hey man, my toilet's not working right. Like, you fix that for me.
Mario.
That's
oh
great.
man, that's really funny. God damn it.
That's what it should just make up, because it's made up bullshit.
It is all made up.
It's made up bullshit. She might as well make up more ridiculous bullshit.
I agree.
Some people get upset about things that just have anything to do with anything.
Yeah, it's being offended by proxy. That's
You know
3/4 of the
you
internet.
know the worst thing is the ones that get upset about cultural appropriation. It's like, you're stealing that from another culture. You mean I'm being a human being?
Yeah.
Because the only reason that we are at the level of technology we are now is because we saw someone doing something, and we started doing it as well. And then someone saw that and added to this, and they started doing it as well.
I have ear gauges. And in fact, almost everything that I'm into comes from like an African culture somewhere, or African American somewhere who played a guitar note.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm into metal. That comes from the blues. Okay, Satan worship comes from the Crossroads, which comes from the blues devil. Like,
Old Scratch.
That's the thing, and they get upset. It's like, and it used to be like, if you think like 10 years ago, they were complaining. It's like, well, you think this culture's inferior, and then you like it, and you're like, why are you liking it? It's like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, exactly.
you know, I used to get a big kick out of like my high school crowd because like these dudes, they were like, you know, I grew up in a small town or whatever, and like it had its share of like actual racism.
Right.
So these guys would walk around, the N-words and the N-words and the N-words. And then they'd get in their big-ass jacked-up truck and bump the hottest, dopest rap track. And I'm just like, are you kidding me right now? Like, do you really feel that way? to like, or do you like just want to save face? Like, I don't know who you're trying to fool. Like,
I think that is with some people. It's just like some people think that they are racist and they say things that are racist, but they certainly don't act like they're racist.
Yeah.
It's like I had an aunt that did. It's like, you know what? I don't like this type of person. I'm like, weren't you just telling about the person that you work with who's perfectly cool?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah. It's like, well, then you don't hate them. You're just saying shit. You're just being a fucking moron.
Exactly.
That's what you're doing.
It's because they're stupid. It's like 2 + 2 is 5. No, 2 + 2 is 4. You know how? Because you learn things by experiencing them. Because if you don't, you just keep thinking the shit you make up in your mind is true, and then you're a fucking idiot.
Right.
dude, it's bad when you believe your own lies.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I just thought it, like, I think about that like once a year. It's like, this person lies so much. They believe their own lies.
Could you imagine, like, that would be a hell of a fucking superpower. Like, if you could make up one lie a day about yourself and it would come true for one day. It's like, you just wake up, it's like, I'm the best golfer in the world. And it's like, Evan Jones from the Masters.
Could you imagine if you got famous doing something like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like every day, but you forget that one day where you slept too late. You're like, fuck, I'm late.
Yeah.
What am I late for? Oh no. I'm the best crocheter ever.
Wait a minute, there's a movie about that. John Candy. He wrote a book and he woke up inside of his book.
Oh, he could type out things
Delirious.
that happened. Yeah,
Delirious. Yeah,
Yeah.
God, that was a fucking awesome movie. Oh man, I completely forgot
There
about that.
technically are people who are famous for making up lies.
Yeah, they're called actors. That's what they're doing. They're portraying falsehood in an entertaining
they're
way.
pretending. Well, I mean, people who are not they pretend like it's for real.
Yeah.
It's like, here's my opinion on these things, and why it should be true. Oh, I like you for this opinion. I mean, all the evidence says it's different, but at least you're telling me what I want to hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fox News.
Pundits in general.
Yeah,
It's like-
they don't even make any puns. They should just call them assholes instead of pundit.
I don't watch the news anymore because, like, the same dude who's out there saying that all women should be equal called, like, Sarah Palin a cunt.
Yeah, right?
You know, so
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Well,
that
it depends
doesn't-
on how he's taking it. Maybe he just doesn't like her.
Well,
Because it's like, man, I've called lots of people cunts, but I think they're equal.
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
equally as bad as
in
everyone else.
Ireland, cunt is like saying, "What's up, bro? What's up, you cunt?"
Yes.
So,
And I mean, while it is a bad word because we assign that to it, I think that the thing that it represents is fucking wonderful. I find vaginas to be delicious, wonderful parts of life. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So
man.
it's like, if you call somebody a cunt, you might as well call them Kool-Aid. It's like, you piece of Kool-Aid. Wow, you're delicious and you make my day better.
that's that. I may start doing that.
Yeah,
That
I mean-
woman was such a Kool-Aid. They're like, "Wow, she must have been awesome." Salty Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Sweet and salty, man.
Do you guys watch The Walking Dead?
I don't know anything
No.
about it.
Me either.
But you can tell us.
Okay, so
Sell
like,
us on it.
So, well, I want to. I can't make you watch it. I personally really enjoy that show, and now that it's back on, it's been like smack mouth fodder. But so there's this black lady. Her name is Michonne.
Yeah, she's the sword lady.
She's the sword lady.
Yeah.
Yes,
This sounds
And then-
awesome.
And then the main character Rick. So now they're shacking up apparently. So, like yesterday's episode, they're all out walking in the woods, getting all hot and sweaty, and before any one of them washes their ass,
Spoiler alert.
they go to having sex at the end of the episode, and we're all looking at each other like, ugh. And we're wondering which person in our apartment is not down with the swirl, if you know what I mean. White guy, black girl. And then we all kind of realize that these guys are sweaty and gross. When Rick
Yeah.
pulls his balls out, man, it's going to be a bad time.
They
It's gonna
just
smell
walked
like-
to Vinegar Town is what happened.
yeah, and so when she takes her pants off, naturally, the vagine is gonna smell like a walker too. And we were just like, "This is gross. You got to shower. You've been out in the woods." Like, anyways, I don't know what made me think of that. Salty vagina, maybe. I don't know.
That, but I mean, you got to think about it like this. I can honestly say that I have never made it into the event to which we are discussing and had a smell that was so terrible that it knocked my dick right out of the game.
Hey man, I think I can take it.
So wait, are you saying that you never smelled a raunchy one? Or you're saying that even if it was raunchy, it wouldn't affect you?
I'm saying that if the raunchiness was there, it would have hit me in the face far before my dick was ready to go and party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
It's like as soon as those panties came down, it would be like right in the
Ding,
face.
ding, ding.
Yeah, exactly.
You fly back like Brad Pitt and freaking Snatch.
Slow motion in the black and white in the water.
That's why they called it Snatch.
Yeah, that's what the movie's actually about.
It's about raunchy vagina.
Oh my goodness.
So Evan,
Yeah.
are you still with DS Drag Sleeper?
No, dude, I haven't been in that band for like 3 years, but I'm still good friends with all of them.
Okay, I was just wondering because they're playing March 5th.
Absolutely, I'm going to try and get Adrian on the podcast because he's a guy who always has some funny shit to say, and we've known each other for a long time, and yeah, they're going to be playing March 5th at Back Porch Lounge for any of you Macon Knights who are listening.
Yeah, I think is Dead Hand playing that one too? No.
Tombstone Blue,
Tombstone Blue and Doghead.
Doghead. Okay,
Yeah, so
Tombstone Blue is great. They're like a mixture between like Entombed and Pantera. It's
Nice.
fucking awesome. Yeah, they're great.
I'll probably go to that show. You know, I've never once seen Dragon Sleeper play live.
They're great, man. They're like the way that I explain their music to people. It's like if you like the idea of victoriously making it to the top of a mountain after you defeated a dragon, and then you really like moshing and headbanging and breakdowns and solos. There's not a better place than a Dragon Sleeper show.
Nice. That's cool, man. I know I've heard some of their songs or whatever. I remember like Slay the Dragon or whatever, that really old song.
I thought that was your band.
No, my band does not have a song about dragons.
Wasn't there one where like somebody had dragons in the doorway or something?
I don't remember. I remember,
Well, fuck, let's talk about your band, Wrath of a Dying Breed. Fucking, like, to me, you guys sound like Crowbar. It's like
I'll take it.
It's a very Crowbar, heavy, fucking, groovy-esque band. You know?
Thanks, man. That's kind of what we're going for. We're actually trying to get more. I heard this band recently called The Shrine, and that's kind of what I want to take it towards, where it's almost like Black Sabbath, but a little bit more punk rock, and then it can get like straight like trippy, you know, like heavy bass, like fuzzed out. That's kind of what I want us to go for. You know, the thing is we all got a lot of influences, and so it's trying to make those work. I personally come from like a punk rock hardcore.
Hell yeah, home team.
You know, so like I got into metal late, you know, and even when I was like listening to metal, it wasn't like metal. Like Norma Jean is the first band that I ever heard that like had no singing. Before then, it was Alexis on Fire, heavy punk rock, like roots and that. So,
man, I remember one of the first times that I would even consider it hanging out. I saw you at a show at the Refuge, and you're like, Evan, you love Japan and metal. Come listen to this band in my car. So, like, we went to your car, and it was Maximum the Hormone. And I was like, oh, my God, these guys are fucking insane.
that is a band with a lot of influence. They break down from straight pop music. I almost feel like A Day to Remember would have never been a band without Maximum the Hormone.
Yeah, there's definitely 100% influence there.
Like pop punk into breakdown, screamy metal. But Wrath of a Dying Breed. We just talk about guts and glory and stuff. So while you're climbing mountains with Dragon Sleeper, you want to listen to music that makes you want to crush someone with a big ass hammer.
Yes.
And then cover yourself in their blood and shout for joy and dance around in it. That's gonna be Wrath for you. And we're gonna record in early March, so hopefully we can get something out from that. And I'm stoked with it.
And you were the bass player and the vocalist.
Yes.
And I would just like to say, I've always liked the band, but recently you've taken a very intense interest in Asatru, the old heathen ways of the Vikings.
Yes, I love it.
And it's so weird when somebody takes that specific path to me, because we're in Georgia where it is not cold. There's not a lot of Vikings, so you have to dig pretty deep. How did you get the inspiration for the Viking lore? How did you get into all that?
Well, I think it's kind of found me more than I finding it.
Nice.
You know, I grew up with like the Christian background or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, a God that loves you but puts rules on your life, and then you know that if you don't worship Him the right way,
Yeah.
you know you're condemned for it, and that's just never sat right to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least in the old ways, you know, there's some stuff we can't get away with, but that's very limited, and even with a good moral core, you wouldn't want to do that anyway. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is not solely for Christianity. to say.
And not to mention, there is not one part of like the old pagan heathen ways that looks down on anybody. I got fucking irate over this college professor who said that all Vikings were racists.
Oh,
and
man.
His name was Carl something. And I really wanted to write that dude an angry email. I was like, look, man, for one, you can't say that they're racist because we're talking about, you know, BC times in fucking Sweden, Scandinavia. There's no black people there. That's just... I didn't make that, you know? Like, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
plus, even if they were there, they wouldn't be like, let's kill him because he's black. They'd be like, let's kill him because he's not from here. Which is the same
Yeah.
thing that would happen to anybody who they didn't know.
And then
Tribalist.
if it was real, he would have killed a couple of them, and then they would have like, respect, fam, respect. Join us. You are a great
Exactly.
warrior. You know. So that's just it. Like, I mean, you rape a woman back in Viking times, they cut your dick off.
Yeah.
And even worse, they let the woman that you raped do it.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
I mean, you know, and they had women warriors. It's just they didn't.
Valkyries.
Well,
Carried your soul to Valhalla.
and
Or
then you had
Hell,
shield
whatever.
maidens. You had shield maidens who were great warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, just to me, like, I hate that people, and I won't name any names, but they claim, like, that they are this and they are that. I don't claim to be a Viking. It's really what I'm into.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made a lot more sense to me than, like, Christian religion and stuff. So that's why I follow it. Not to mention, you know, say what you will, the religion is the same as the Christian religion in the way that we follow stories. And that's it. It's all stories. But the thing is, it's because it's like pagan religion, it's mythology. But
Yes.
1,000 years from now, the Bible is going to be mythology, you know?
Dude, let me just expound on that and just go deep really quick here. When you take religions and you place them side by side and you analyze them, they are more alike than they are different.
Exactly.
Yes.
And people, for whatever reason, cannot wrap their fucking minds around that.
My
because-
God can kick your God's ass.
Yeah,
That's what it
they're
is.
too busy being righteous about what they believe instead of trying to unify with other people, which is what they're supposed to be about in the fucking first
Exactly.
place.
That's all religion is bringing people together.
Yes.
And
It
whether...
It was the old school rules to keep people from doing shit they shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And keep people together.
Which is why I like it, because in the Bible, you can't do this and you can't do this. And that and this. It's all wives' tales. It's like you're not supposed to masturbate or you'll go blind.
That's
Like,
not true at all.
No.
I'm 34 years old, 20/20 vision.
No hairy palms, you guys.
Dude,
Like,
I've never shaved my palms once. Whoever came up with that was a fucking asshole.
it's always weird to me that M. Night Shyamalan had it the best. When he made The Village, you know, there's nothing in those fucking woods, but they don't want their people to know that there's other life, that they're actually not as far behind. They're not behind how they act. But so you don't go in the woods because you'll find out the truth.
Yeah.
That was a great fucking movie.
And
by
so
the way.
I always see religion at that, you know. Religion is just the same way. You can't covet thy neighbor's wife. Bitch may be hot, but you can't touch her.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
You know?
there's nothing wrong with saying, wow, she is fucking awesome looking. But that's a lot different than going over there and having sex with her, because you realize within yourself that that is wrong.
Yeah.
You might be able to talk yourself into not thinking that, but most people are not just going to be like, oh, there's my friend's wife. Let me go have sex with her.
And you know what I never understood is like the 10 Commandments. It's like, thou shalt not have any other gods before me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's the only religion that's like that. Like, God is a greedy little kid. He wants all the attention. You know? Meanwhile, in other religions, you've got multiple gods. And for whatever you feel at the day, that's the one you're going to talk to. Because that's the one that it's specialized for that occasion. So
I wonder if that's the whole explanation. Maybe, now if you're going back, maybe he was a great guy at first. But imagine if, all right, you know where you guys work, right? Imagine if you were the only guy working there. And everybody everywhere is calling you to fix the problem. It wouldn't be long before you hated all those fucking people.
Yeah, I'd be like, fix your own damn mess. Leave me alone.
Maybe that's what it is. So when it got down to just him, he's like, fuck, all these goddamn people all the time. And I've got the Cowboys calling me to win the game, and I've also got the fucking Cleveland Indians over in fucking baseball. It's not the same sport.
Meanwhile, Jimmy's got cancer.
Yeah, I know.
He won't ever get to watch the Super Bowl. What do I do? Dude, speaking of where we work, that job has made me hate foreign women. I swear to you, if a woman with an accent calls me, I hate her immediately. I want to crawl through the phone and choke her until all the foreign women are gone or not driving anymore.
Oh my God. That is insane.
They always yell at me, and it puts me on edge, and I try, and I just want to cry.
I wonder. It makes me wonder if it's like what's this one? Foreign woman just transfer him to Eli.
Yeah, he's going to the Eli game.
You know who hates foreign women? Eli.
He's like, thanks for calling blah blah blah. This is Eli. How can I help you? Yes, I'd like to call. And he hits the mute button. Son of a bitch! I'll be happy to help you out today.
I wish Kyle was here. Yeah. I wish Kyle was here. He's going to call me now for your free reading. Yeah, he does that so well. I don't know why I thought of Miss Cleo, because she actually didn't have that accent. She was actually from New York.
Yeah, right.
She just did it, but it's like that's what I think.
She was a good phony.
Man, you know, this is like, speaking of work, the girl who sits next to me at work, one of the nicest people ever, but she's super religious. So I'm not going to say her name because she might listen to this. But she always just says stuff. She'll be like, I'm trying to find a place for my dog to stay while I'm in New York, but I gotta talk to Jesus about it. And I just imagine that Jesus is like sitting in his office, is like, fuck, where am I gonna put her dog, man? He's like going through papers and shit. And like, then like all of a sudden it's like, it's John from the Cowboys, they're at the Super Bowl, and he's like, fuck, I gotta find the dog a place, shit! And it's like papers are flying everywhere.
Where are you playing, John?
Yeah.
Georgia? Near Macon? Yes. Can you watch a dog for me?
Yeah, watch this dog. And then all of a sudden the guy's just like, I just received a word from God. I'm supposed to watch a dog. The Bulldogs. That's what he's talking about. I'm gonna watch the Dogs game tonight.
Did you see the cartoon thing I put up on Facebook about God creating the dinosaurs?
No, but I would love to hear about it.
Okay, so it's a comic strip, and it's something about this little kid. Mom, why did God get rid of the dinosaurs? And then all of a sudden, it's Satan calling up God. He's like, so, God, dinosaurs, why are they extinct? And he was like, well, first let me tell you how they were created. And then it shows God with a beer bottle, and he's drunk. He's got like the cartoon drunk eyes. And it's like really big ass lizards. And then he goes, and then it says a few years later, God is drunk again. He's like, what is this thing? And the angel, he's like, this is a hamster. He's like, that's really freaking cute. They must be all over Earth. And the angel's like, well, how do you think they'll live if the dinosaurs are on the Earth? And then it just shows God giving the deuces, and it says, nuke the lizards. And then it's like, Satan's like, God, you really got to stop drinking. And God's like, I know. God must have been drunk when he made a platypus. What the fuck?
Yeah, right?
I'm going to give it a duck bill and a beaver tail. Yeah!
And it's going to be poisonous.
Though he could be like the greatest like creator ever. Mm-hmm. If you look at all the stuff and you're like the stuff with the platypuses and stuff like that. Because if you made a world that looks like you're not necessary, but you're really real, just to fuck with people.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Wow, that's my entire life in a nutshell.
It's just like I'm just gonna fuck with these guys. It's like you know how like fathers like to mess with their kids and trick them.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just it. Maybe the whole thing is just a big joke and just like, look at him. Look at him. I don't care if you worship anybody else. I don't care. You know why? I'm all powerful. How's that going to make me feel? But I can't believe they believe that. and they think they shouldn't eat pigs. Bacon is delicious. I can't believe they're not. Hey, you know what's going to happen if you eat that? You're going to burn in hell. No! I got him.
You fell for it. You fell for it.
I got him.
It was all an elaborate ruse because they put the demons into pigs that made them run into the. He's like, oh, I got him. He's like the long distance burn.
Oh man.
I just imagine it's like this seems like a great person. What a prankster he is. That means God's Loki. That's what that means.
And it all comes back to us all true.
It comes back.
Also true. That's 100% where we were going with. Where the fuck did what? Your band. Okay. Wrath of a Dying Breed. Where can people check you guys out? Give us some pages.
Right now, we're just on Facebook. Once we get everything recorded, I'm naturally going to make a SoundCloud because I can put all that up there for free. It'll be on SoundCloud. We're actually going to look into like doing it kind of old school and putting out some records.
Oh, cool.
Because I know that the record has made its comeback, and I just think it'd be really cool to get like some badass artwork and stuff. And, you know, so that's it. I don't know when this episode is going to go up.
Who fucking knows? I got to get everything else up on SoundCloud. Oh, by the way, thank you for the stuff you told me at Back Porch the other night for how to fix the stuff on SoundCloud because it fucking worked. Turns out, by the time you hear this, everything will already be up. But I've spent like the last month and a half trying to get everything from our website onto SoundCloud. And there's like, out of the 63 episodes we have, like 20 of them would not upload. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? What the fuck? I'm tired of this bullshit. And Eli was like, maybe your files are corrupt. And I was like, I have been yelling at their service representatives through email, declaring that I have multiple times uploaded these files and it's still not working. But the whole time it was because I'm a fucking idiot. So I had to re-download all the files all over again, upload them one at a time, and like I'm on 50-something now, so it'll be up soon. So probably within the next month or two, it should
Well, you
be
know
up.
what they say about files?
What?
They be corrupting.
That is true. That is true. Man.
This was like a really fast 56 minutes.
It was.
I had fun. This was an honor, you guys. We were talking, you and Shane should come to Smackmouth. Well, you could come to the Church of Smackmouth again.
Yes.
We could bring Shane because now we've got our studio very comfortable. So, and we've got all, you know, we can bring mics and stuff, and, you know, we'd have a good time.
Dude, I would just like to mention that you said that it's comfortable now as if it wasn't comfortable last time. I sat down and I saw a Nintendo Entertainment System, so I was immediately comfortable sitting in that room.
It's nice in there now. You know, technical issues. We're having webcam issues because we're trying to we're trying to be the drunken peasants. Fucking Joe Rogan. We want webcam. I mean,
Awesome.
we've got a green screen we could use, but you know, we need a tech savvy freaking person to come set up our webcam. So, you guys, Smackmouth Podcast needs a tech nerd. Please help.
That was an awesome megaphone that you brought along with you.
Get your hands off the little boy.
What was there? Is there a priest in here? What's going on?
I did say the Church of Smackmouth.
That's true. You sure did. Is that the official title now?
No, I don't know. It's this thing I'm fucking around with. I think we're pretty soon to evolve. So like our beginning and stuff, I think will probably change here soon. And I want it to like have like a church bell and it'd be like, the Church of Smackmouth is now accepting whatever, you know. All rise for the fucking great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eli, the podcast guy.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like a lot of the things when we started the podcast, we just came up with a bunch of sayings, and one of our sayings was two guys with mouths bigger than their egos.
Oh,
So, like
that's a good catchphrase.
I'm full of them, dude. How do you think the #1 DIY podcast came about? Like
There you go.
my brain.
WTG, way to go.
Way to go.
So how one more time, just to plug yourself, how do they listen? Do they need to subscribe? What's going on?
You can subscribe to us on iTunes. That's if you have the podcast app, that app pulls our RSS feed from SoundCloud. So you can search for us on SoundCloud and listen to it. You can subscribe to us on SoundCloud and get the notification. And then we have a nice little video for most of our podcasts on YouTube. It's not us. It's like this little spinny mouthy tooth thing. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do some psychedelics and listen to a podcast, YouTube would be the way to go.
What I'm trying to get to, you mealy mouth bastards, is saying they need to go to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating and comment.
Please do. And Offenders listeners, I know you're out there. There's like 6 of you, I know.
That's one more than I expected.
Please check out Smackmouth. Tell your friends, and because that's a labor of love. I enjoy doing it. I don't expect any more out of it than like the joy that I get from doing it. But
And it's fun. Like just to mention a little bit, you have Florida Man as a recurring guest. Not in studio, of course, but his antics are told.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about you guys is you always delve into like spacey, like crazy conspiracy theories and aliens and ghosts, and you're not afraid to talk about that stuff. And it's so much fun to talk about that and the probabilities of all of it. It's fucking
It really
awesome.
is. We talked about Hokus when you were on with us, or whatever those things, the Japanese demons that make weird shit happen. You told us about the Ninja Turtle one with the water.
Kappa, yeah.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how I recall in one episode you were talking about how the house that you were renting was haunted.
Very, very much so.
Just I know it's an old episode, but would you give some of our listeners a little bit of that story?
Yeah, sure. So I live in a really old ass house, and like if you look at our roof, if anything, our roof claimed a few souls, I'm sure, because like back when that house was built, people didn't have safety harnesses. They walked up there with their Rolly cigarettes and their scabies, and they just went to shingling. They didn't know. And if you look at my roof, man, someone fell off that bitch more than once. So it's just haunted. But my apartment personally has a very tall figure that lives in there, and he's like super tall. Like you almost wouldn't believe he could walk through a door, And my landlord has taken pictures of my room before with that guy standing in the window.
Is it like a tall, black, shadowy figure?
Yeah. It's crazy when you catch him walking into a room. And it's funny because I feel like he's kind of a joker more than anything. Like, not so scary, but he, like, will sneak up on you when you're not paying attention. When, like, the house being haunted is the farthest thing from your mind is when weird shit happens. And it's almost like they're like, hey, bro, think about me. So,
well, that's actually kind of the reason that I wanted you to be on the podcast today, because that tall, black, shadowy figure was actually Shane.
It's me the whole time.
Nice. Shane has seen me naked.
Gotcha! Got him!
Got him!
Man, but yeah, that's actually something similar to what I heard on Jamie Josta's podcast. He said when he was a little kid, he would see a tall, shadowy being like over his bed when he woke up. I've never seen anything, but one of the scariest things that ever happened to me was Stick, the guy that was on with us last time from Plugs.
Yeah.
We lived in a house over off of Old Lundy, and there's a window because it was me, him, Mondo, Bruiser from the previous podcast, and a guy named Eric, also known as Nightmare. And there was a window in the main room of the house, and I would close it all the time because I'd like to keep the air on so it would stay cold. But the window would always be open when I came home. I was like, who the fuck is opening this goddamn window? So I was like, Eric, did you open it? No. Mondo, did you open it? No. Stick, did you open it? No, man. Well, fuck, why does it keep staying open? So I was like, Stick, come here, look at this fucking window. It's open again. So we go up there, and I was like, I've had enough of this bullshit. I'm going to close this window for good. So I walk over, and I slam the window shut, and as soon as I do, the window went all the way back up. Right in front of me and Stick, and we went, ah! And we ran out of the fucking house.
Fuck you!
We ran out of the house, got in my car, and like drove to the closest Chinese restaurant. We were like, fuck, man, where are we going to sleep tonight? The ghost got mad because we closed the window, and now we can't go back home because he knows we're going to try and close it again.
The most recent thing that's happened to us is my girlfriend lives with me now, and I have 2 closets in my room, and she will not sleep with a closet door open. It's just not her. So we close them every night. Well, I woke up one day a couple weeks ago, and my closet door was open, and some of my clothes were like thrown out into the middle of the fucking floor. I was like, wow, either my cat grew thumbs, or someone like wanted our attention and tried to wake us up, I'm guessing. Like, I don't know. But it doesn't freak me out. I'm used to it. I mean, I've brought it on myself for many years, trying to see ghosts.
Yeah.
And so what am I going to do? Complain now that it happens? So
why did I do all of those Golden Dawn ceremonies after fasting for 2 weeks in the woods? That was, if anybody actually understood any of that joke, please take a shot of water or coffee, because that was
I wish I had it, because I got it.
Yeah. Golden Dawn, look that up. That'll make your day. Well, on that note, I think we should probably we're past the hour, but who fucking cares? It's always an hour. So once again, Wrath of a Dying Breed. Awesome. What would you call you guys? What would you call the music?
I don't care. Fun battle music.
Battle music. Fucking awesome. Smackmouth podcast, hilarious, sometimes supernatural, always entertaining, and we'll have a couple more guests lined up for you guys, and hopefully it won't be too long before you hear this. I'm going to try and stop being so stupid. Okay, I got to tell you this thing that I've been working on. All right. Okay, so this is a joke. I told this to Shane before we got on the air. It's like, okay, say you're doing some stand-up. This is my joke. So how many people out there like to drink? Yeah. How many out there like to smoke weed? Yeah! Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys have that, because you have an easy life, right? Your life's easy. No, your life's not easy. Yes, it is easy. Let me tell you why. Because when you wreck your car, you can say that you're drunk. When you impregnate a woman, you can say, I was high by Afro Man. When I go outside and I punch somebody, it's because I'm an asshole. When I go out and I get at my job and I yell at my job fucking supervisor, it's because I'm an idiot. I have to accept the fact that you guys will always have an out that I can't take because I'm straight fucking edge. And with that, I'd like to conclude the podcast. My name is Evan.
My name is Shane.
I'm Eli, the podcast guy. Thank you guys for having me on.
Listen to Strife. Peace.